politician from out of town visits New England, it often raises speculation about a presidential run, especially if that politician also recently formed a political action committee. That's the case with New York Congressman Peter King, who is here today.
As a Republican member of the House Homeland Security Committee, King is outspoken on issues ranging from Olympic security to NSA spying. Today, he appeared on Boston Public Radio with WGBH's Peter Kadzis and discussed his penchant for mixing things up.
What's the difference between boxing and politics?
The big difference is when you're boxing, the enemy's in front of you, your opponent's in front of you. In politics, it could just as easily be the guy who's standing behind you who you think is on your side. So you have to be looking over your shoulder all the time in politics.
Congressman, you've been very clear that you support the NSA. After the Snowden revelations came out, many people in Congress, in both the House and the Senate, were vociferous. They were outspoken in their outrage. How many people in Congress knew what the NSA was up to?
Everyone who's on the House Intelligence Committee and the Senate Intelligence Committee had to know about it because we're briefed on it. Other members of Congress, every time we vote on something like the Patriot Act, all the records are made available. Now, probably most of them never went to check out what was going on. I mean, by the nature, the NSA is just one program that's been made public. There's any number of programs that are out there that are not made public, and you can't announce from the rooftops. If you want to find out about this secret program, come down and investigate the documents. What they are told, though, is we're voting on the intelligence budget, we're voting on the Patriot Act. Anything at all that you want to know, it's there. Come down. People have briefed them. They have the records. Any programs you want to learn about, any programs you want to be told we have, they'll be made known to them. Most members of the House and Senate do not bother to do that. And then they start complaining later on. As far as Snowden, I think what he did is evil. And here's what I can't understand with Snowden. People say, well, he started a debate. He started people talking about it. Well, we could have started a debate in 1944 about the atomic bomb or when D-Day was going to occur. There's certain things that should not be discussed in public, and he's violated the law in doing it. But also, let's assume there was some national scandal going on. The fact is the president, who is not in my party, he has said that with all of the hundreds of millions of calls that have been kept records of, there was no instance of any abuse by the NSA. So if there's no abuse, in the meantime, Snowden has alerted our enemies to some of the methods we're using. We know of at least one terrorist organization which has changed its methods of communication because of what Snowden said. We know that now foreign countries know what we could be listening to as far as they're concerned. So he's done tremendous damage to the U.S., and there's been no good gain from it.
Here in Boston, we had a series of two related terrorist attacks. There's been no outcry in Washington, to hold the feet of the FBI to the fire, to see, why they were lax in their liaison with Russia here. Why so much about Benghazi and not more about, say, the Boston bombings?
Yeah, actually, I have been critical of the FBI in that. Last year when Commissioner Davis was before the Homeland Security Committee, that's where he first testified publicly that the FBI did not share the information with the Boston police about the older brother, about his involvement that we were told about from the Russians. So I have been critical of it. I've raised it a number of times. I said part of the reason is that that was probably an oversight. It was wrong. I think the FBI was wrong, and I've been critical of them in New York also for not sharing information. So I feel very strongly about that. I would say part of it with Benghazi was how quick the president and the Secretary of State and others were to come out the next day and say this was a spontaneous demonstration as a result of a video, and they kept it going. And that, and the fact that there have been so many notices, direct notices, that that outpost needed more security and didn't get it.
To hear more of our interview with Congressman Peter King, including the fight he's waging within his own party, visit our website, WGBHnews.org.